one, go.
Hi, everyone. My name is Sarah Lima. I am the social media coordinator for Boston Women's Film Festival, and I'd like to welcome you all to our third annual Film Fest and our Watch With Us series discussions. Tonight, we're having a conversation on our short films in the category relationships. If you're joining with us in the Zoom call, feel free to drop a question or comments in the chat. We'll have Katie Shannon joining us shortly and she's the creator of K&A Lost and Found. Alrighty. Quickly, I'm just going to go over all the films, and they were all so wonderful. I'm going to start with A Perfect Turn, directed by Mina Kim. And it's a short about the difference between a child and a parent and how their goals don't really align. And it was a beautiful story. It features like this little girl who is a ballerina and performing for a dance recital, and she doesn't seem like she really wants to be there, but her mom keeps pushing her to go. And towards the end, I'm not going to spoil it for anyone in case they haven't seen it, but just know that the imagery is beautiful. There's like some really beautiful jellyfish in the background, and the colors are stunning. And yeah, and then after that one, we have Awaken, which is directed by Lena Pendarkar, and it's about family as well, and the relationship between a mom and her daughter, and daughter being Rocky Singh, taking care of her mom who is suffering from Alzheimer's. Hi, Katie.
Hey, how's it going?
How are you?
How are you?
Good, thanks. Katie Shannon is the creator of K&A, Lost and Found. I was just about to get to that one too. Before I say anything, would you like to say anything about your film? Just introduce it to us.
Yeah, K&A is part of a series. So this is the latest one that we did, comedy, best friends from college, and super excited to have this in the festival.
Great. Thank you so much for your submission. We were so excited to see it. And I was just about to talk about it too. One thing I loved about your film was just like the snarky comedy of it, and how lovely the relationship between Carly and oh my goodness, I'm blanking on the other girl's name, Alex. How lovely their relationship were and how they were coming at each other. And did you want to tell us a little bit about the story?
Yeah, so I started the series probably, I think I want to say 5 or 6 years ago, loosely based on me and my best friend from college. So each episode usually has some sort of truth, small or however small or big each episode has. And so this one in particular, I was actually trying to remember how I thought of it because I wrote this probably about 2 years ago at this point. And I think we were going through old college pictures of ourselves. And we're like, just sometimes they're just not flattering pictures. And so I think it kind of spitballed from there as far as we wouldn't want these pictures released. And then what would happen if, someone got kidnapped? What picture would you use? And then I think it kind of spitballed from there. So that's kind of how I think I thought of the episode.
Yeah. And you filmed most of it in Boston too, right?
Yeah, all of it we filmed in Boston. A good chunk of it is my apartment. The news scenes are actually my apartment, and then bars around the city. And then the photo studio is below where I live, so they let us film there as well. So yeah, it's all shot in Boston.
Oh, that's so cool. Yeah. So can you tell me a little bit about your filming process and how that was?
Yeah, so I've worked with Audrey and Ashley, who are the leads, for a long time. Audrey in particular, probably for about 10 to 15 years. So I've known them for a very long time, so I'm very comfortable directing them. They do a lot of improv, as far as if you ever read the script, and what ends up on the screen is so much funnier than what I write. And so I have another female producer and a male producer that we've worked together for years. So we kind of figured out the budget, which we always do things really low budget. We got a lot of equipment donated, which was really nice. All the spaces we got were for free. We shot this in 3.5 days, maybe. And we did a pickup day, I think a year later, just to get some pickup scenes. And then Jonathan Katz, who plays Uncle Chevy, is a comedian that I used to be his assistant. So he used to have a show on Comedy Central. And so I worked with him for years, and I always asked if he would ever be interested to be in the show if we were going to film it in Boston. He said yes. So I kind of wrote that character specifically for him. So it was really cool to be able to direct him as well.
Nice. Yeah, that's amazing. One other question I have for you, and the film itself, was the style of it was really striking to me, and how it was filmed, and the cinematography was really nice with all the colors, and how lively it was, and it really played off of the characters, and the dialogue that they shared. How was that? Like, how did you land on the style for your film?
I've used the same DP for everything I've ever shot in my life. So we have a really good relationship. And so I trust him wholeheartedly. And I think the first thing we ever filmed together was like started on like a Canon 7D, and we've just progressed together, I think, as a team, as we've kind of progressed professionally. So I kind of left it up to him as far as he actually got a really nice camera that was donated to us to use, and he DP'd the whole thing. And I actually colored it in post, so a lot of it was shot in log, so it left me a lot of room to be able to work with the colors. And Audrey and Ashley specifically pick out their own wardrobe because we don't have the money for it. So I owe a lot to them as far as what they chose to wear and things like that. I think really helped on screen as well.
Yeah, that's so cool. Awesome. I'll get back to your film in just a moment. I just want to introduce the other ones as well. We have a 2-minute short called Pen Pals, and it's a really sweet little short of kind of like almost a vlog, and you really just see this woman who is just FaceTiming with her cat, with another cat. Sean, did you want to talk about that a little bit? I know you really enjoyed it.
I really liked it. I mean, I thought I like any cat in a film always gets a good good pass for me. But I just thought it was really like it set it. We were in a pandemic, and it's kind of like almost like the future of filmmaking is going to be. It felt very personal, and also very like it was joyous, which I kind of really liked. And the filmmaker sort of referenced like Jacques Tati a lot, sort of his sort of like playfulness, but his use of sort of like modern sort of aesthetics. Because I mean, her apartment was very modern, and I just thought also the fact that like she was setting up like sort of a play date, like as people would do for their children, for her cat, just was super charming. And then it was like, I'm done, and then it just life goes on,
Yeah.
which I thought was really great.
Yeah. A really sweet little short. And then lastly, oh no, there's two more. And so there's Ricardo that bounced off, ooh, my goodness. Ricardo that bounced to the stars is this Italian short directed by Lana Vladi. And it's about this little girl who comes home and she has a little pet chick, and her mom can't find it before she gets home, and basically has to tell her that the chick died. And how she tells her is by saying that he jumped and he became a star, and then things go from there, and it's really, really sweet, a lot of fun. And the parents in the film are divorced, so there's like that dynamic too that you get to see. And yeah, it's a really cute little short. Lastly, we have Screenshots for a Goodbye, directed by Ruth Cadelli, who we brought back. We featured her feature film last year, Second Star to the Right, in our program. And this year we brought her back with this short in this category, and also in our animated and experimental category as well. Really special short about a falling out of a relationship. Really sweet. All right, back to Katie. So I
talk about Screenshots of a Goodbye, because I love that short. We did it at Wicked Queer. I'm a huge fan of Ruth. I love anything she does. I think she's a brilliant director.
Yeah, she's amazing. Yeah, that one in particular was so lovely, and such a quiet film that really said so much with every single every single shot that she did, and it was so beautifully framed, and the way that they interacted with each other without saying too much was just really beautiful. Did you want to say anything else?
Well, she just has such a different style stylistically from her first feature, which I think was a lot more, cinematic, if you will. And then her second was handheld, black and white for the most part, and then kind of had the same feeling, I thought, with this short. But yeah, I mean, I'm just a fan. I think she's brilliant, and I think she has another feature she's literally in post right now. I'm like, how do you have time to continue to make all these films?
Yeah, we're so excited to bring her back. Yeah. Yeah, so Screenshots for a Goodbye was a really good one. Did you get a chance to see the rest of the shorts in the program?
I have not yet. I know I have some more time. I have not seen. That's the only one I know of right now.
No worries, no worries. If you get a chance to, we have some really great ones in the program.
Oh, for sure. Yeah.
Yeah. So I want to ask, so your process for writing, and I know a lot of it came, like you said, from improv, from the actors, but I was just curious if you have like any specific things that you do to get into like the groove for screenplay and for screenwriting.
It's funny because I teach screenwriting in college, and I'll teach them how to write an outline, write a treatment, and all this stuff, and I never follow any of it. I will come up with an idea and write pages and pages and rewrite. I probably do more rewrites than I should because that's how I write. So this episode in particular, I wrote a very long time ago that maybe started at 7 pages. The final ended up being maybe about 30, which we actually filmed about a 29-minute version of this that we cut down to about 17. So yeah, a lot of rewrites, a lot of getting feedback from people. Like I'll send it to my producers and just people outside of actual K&A who don't even maybe know the show, just so I can get honest feedback, because I think that's the only way you really learn is from, other people reading it. So yeah, that's basically my process. A lot of rewrites.
Yeah. And for our audiences to keep an eye on you for the rest of the web series, how long is it going to be? How many episodes?
So we released 5 of the first season a while ago. Then we got a grant and we did a longer version one, about 15 minutes, that we shot up in Vermont. And then this one. So I'm not really sure. We kind of done this very slowly and on very little money, Kickstarter one year and a grant another time. So I'm not sure if this is going to be the end of the road for the series, or maybe if we get some money, we'll do another one. But everything's online at carlyandalex.com. You can see all of the ones we've done in the past there.
Nice. Yeah. I'm excited to check those out.
Thank you.
John, did you have any questions for Katie?
Of course.
Sean, I miss your face.
Hey, Katie. Nice to see you.
Nice to see you too.
Yeah. So I love K&A. I mean, I like the episodes I've seen so far are always hilarious. I think you have a really great sense of sort of comedic timing, and I feel like we need to laugh a lot more, especially now. So what's next for those ladies? What kind of shenanigans are they going to get into?
I should probably think. I actually I have a whiteboard right in front of me, and I have about a list of 11 episodes up here that I would do outline for a season, which I haven't actually. Carly gets tapeworm on purpose so she can lose weight, I think is one of them. And no, I don't scissor is another one I have written down.
I can only imagine what that is.
Yeah. As you can guess, I've gotten that question a lot, and so I tend to put that stuff in the show. But nothing concrete. I'm not sure what they'll do from here. Not grow up. I can probably say that.
The jokes right themselves.
Yes.
We have a question from the chat on the live chat from Inventive. What was the inspiration for the confrontation with the moms?
We were trying to think of a way of how to get them out of, figure a way of how they had to raise money. So I think we were trying to figure out what would be the best way to do it. And in the past episodes, they lived in another apartment because we filmed at my apartment. So trying to think of a way of how they would even live in this type of apartment, because I always get mad at, like friends, like no one can afford that place kind of thing. So making it aware that they actually pay for the apartment and then, the moms being fed up that they actually do zero with their life and forcing them to actually get real jobs, which obviously never happens. But it was really tough because Ashley is Iranian in real life. So trying to find her mother to try to cast that in Boston was really, really difficult. And I actually know the woman who was Egyptian. So we were able to figure that out, but that was definitely something that was difficult to do around here.
No, the moms were really great too. Like it seemed like they were like they played their parts really well. So, any other like as far as like casting sort of challenges with it? Because I mean, you have to kind of like because they are in Boston, sort of that sort of local
I
talent.
feel like, yeah, I mean, I'm very aware, I think, of the talent pool. And so I feel like I knew a lot of people. And then with Katz coming in, I think everyone was super excited to have him in there. And then we casted the bartender. He's a local comedian. So we had some comedians come in. And so we were lucky enough to cast him. And actually, the photography scene was written as the long version that I think I have is like 7 minutes. And it's what I like, one of my favorite scenes. It was written for maybe like 20 seconds. And then we just had them improv and we did the camera one way. And I think they went about 10 minutes together one way. And then we did the reversal and the girls just played off it for about 10 minutes. But I think we lucked out. They're both are comedians and do improv and stuff. And they just kind of like went off.
Oh, it's like hysterical too, like because I was
Yeah.
like, oh my, it kind of reminded me a lot of like Absolutely Fabulous, and
Yes.
like I was just like, it was so ridiculous. I was just like, what are they? I'm like, what? What are they doing?
So we had the girl who played the photographer. We had him come in to do a casting, and I had her improv it, and she did the line. I don't know if it's the Russian, like, wait in line as you're in Soviet Russia, and she did that, and I was like, you have to do that, like we're putting that in the show.
It's so good, so good. So no, go ahead, Sarah.
Is there another question?
What was the original inspiration for K&A? And you might have actually touched on this, but maybe hit it again.
Just I originally thought of it with me and my best friend from college. We were super codependent on each other. She was literally here right before I was like, you have to leave. Like, I cannot be on this call with you here because I'll just hear you in the background. Yeah, I know. She'd be mortified. She's a teacher. She's like, you can't continue to tell people that. I was like, I know, but like we were in our 20s, like we're adults now, but a lot of the episodes, I think we had one where they try to quit drinking and we're all like, let's just, not drink for like a week. Like, let's, not drink for 2 weeks. And that's like, was an inspiration for that. And another one, we had decided that we were going to give blood. Instead, we ended up getting drunk. And that was another inspiration for an episode. So just small things that happen that I'll bring to the, I'll go crazy with.
I love that. It really like speaks to the trying to become an adult. And me just graduated from college, like I'm facing that right now, like wanting to just like live my life and my irresponsibilities and like not really go into it.
You have time. You're young.
Spill some blood, why don't you?
Yeah, exactly. But yeah, I love this movie exactly for that, because I was just like seeing myself in these characters, like and it was like a really good escape to just like watch them just go ahead and like just not really care about like the responsibilities of adulthood and just come home with like the lights off and be like, oh, look at that, that's a new challenge this week.
Exactly.
Yeah,
isn't that sort of what your 20s is all about, though? Because I feel like I mean that's what's kind of universal about it, is like you sort of have to have those sort of foibles and stumbles to kind of like make your way through it.
Yeah,
totally agree.
Yeah, the characters definitely encapsulate that so much, and I'm like so excited to watch the rest of the series because I haven't gotten a chance to yet. So, yay!
Well, I'm glad. I think hopefully you'll enjoy it.
Yeah, no, I'm excited, definitely. Yeah, they're so funny together. Their dynamic is so fun. My favorite part was when Alex was she like I think left the bathroom of the bar and then went to go play like a game, and she like missed all the animals that she was shooting, and then the lady from the shoot comes up to her and she's like, oh hey, look, it's you.
She's funny. She says like, I'm a female version of like, what's his name? Eric Sarah, was that? She just thinks she's like really awkward. So we always like play off of that kind of thing. She was at what?
Michael Sarah?
Yes.
Yeah.
She used to be she's at the Improv Asylum. She was in Boston and now she does it out in New York. So she's really brilliant. She's really can just think on her feet all the time.
Yeah, that conversation between the two of them was really funny. And then when she was like talking to Carly at the bar, and the bartender goes like, oh, you're still gay?
A question I still get sometimes.
like almost as if it's like a switch you can turn off.
Yeah.
She's like, no, still gay.
Yeah.
I'm so excited to see where these girls go.
Yeah, you'll enjoy it for sure.
Yeah. Sean, anything else from you?
Oh boy.
Yeah, we're just at the 10-minute
So
mark.
much. So
There's
much.
a lot of there's a lot of things. I'm like, it has nothing to do with the program. But I mean, like besides K&A, is there other kind of projects you have under the pipeline? Like other maybe comedy web series? Like, you know.
I've done one in the past. I have a lot written, and I feel like I was probably waiting for this question because I asked the filmmakers the exact same question when I'm doing Q&As. And I always feel like I should be like, yeah, I wrote a feature film during quarantine, and I have not written anything during quarantine. I think when something strikes me, I'll write it. I think my next thing will be a feature film until I write something that I am really, really want to film, I don't think I'll do it. So I'm still trying to figure what that thing will be. What that is, I do not know. But it would definitely be a mix. It would be definitely more comedic than anything. I know that for a fact.
Because we need more queer comedies.
We really do.
No.
We really do.
Yeah, there's absolutely not enough of them at all.
Not enough.
Yes,
It's always
no one
tragedy.
will die in my film.
I mean, if they did, it could be like, you know, what was it, Death in Bruges, or like not in Bruges.
Yeah.
Like Notes of like whatever it was, like something at a funeral or something like that, or I don't know.
Oh yeah, I know what you're talking about. Yeah.
That's like the really acceptable like sort of death in comedy.
Yes, agreed.
Alrighty. I think I'm kind of out of questions. I was so excited to have your film on the roster for our oh my goodness, for our shorts program.
I can't wait to watch this cat short because you're the one you told me about it. You texted me when you had seen it before, so I gotta watch it.
Yeah, it's so good. It's so fun.
I mean, it's a joy. It makes me like I want everyone like to watch it and like be like inspired to make COVID like FaceTime, like use your phone, shoot some film, do it. Get out there. Like I just want it.
There's an amazing one that we got submitted to Wicked Queer that was shot on the phone during quarantine. It's brilliant.
Amazing. I can't wait to see it.
Yeah.
So in case the audience doesn't know, Katie is the director of programming with myself working at Wicked Queer. So she sees a lot of films. Actually, this is a good question. Since you do watch a lot of films, how does that influence your own filmmaking?
I think it inspires me, particularly I do the first time filmmakers section, and just seeing what kids are making in their early 20s or even in college, and just I think it inspires me to want to be better, especially when you see like Ruth, who just everything she makes, and she puts out stuff constantly, which I think is amazing and brilliant. So I think a lot of times seeing really great films makes me want to be like, yes, I should go right. Not that it's really pushed me over the edge yet, but hopefully it will, because I have a lot more to watch.
But it's good though. I mean, like, you know, props to Ruth. I feel like Ruth is sort of like, again, like I feel like the last festival that we had a bunch of queer auteurs. And I love the fact that we are getting this sort of like new age of sort of auteurship that, you know, people are writing, directing, often starring in it, and just really kind of like putting out these really kind of amazing films that they're, you know, it's like, and then having these careers that we can kind of like follow them and sort of like kind of grow into their sort of like cinematic world. Super cool.
Yeah, I mean, because I feel like she's going to be like here for a while. Like, I mean, you know what I mean? I think to me, she's not even up and coming. I think she's like one of the better established, you know, queer directors right now that I feel like that constantly puts up queer content that I love.
No, it's true. And I feel like also like South America has a really huge, like prolific kind of like cinematic scene that's kind of coming up right now. And I'm really like, you know, it's a place to watch. And you know, like
I agree. Like I think a lot of a lot of submissions we get from Latin America, I think are amazing. I feel like a lot of us gravitate more towards the non-American films than like to the international films than we do American films sometimes.
And same with this fest. I mean, I feel like the the programming here at Boston Women's, it has an eye for that sort of like kind of auteur sort of like ship. I have to say that I've seen films in the program, and like I'm kind of behind the scenes, but it's kind of nice to sort of experience the festival and watch the sort of the programming, because it is so so strong. And I have to say, like Nina Wu, which is kind of streaming till the 18th, like that's one, like it's so powerful. It's not an easy film by any means, but it is probably one of the better films I've seen of the year. And I see, and Katie, could you admit
As
to
you know, yeah, yeah.
testify to that
Yeah.
I watch a lot of films. Surprised my eyeballs have not fallen out of my head.
Seriously, I know.
But yeah.
Well, alrighty. I think that can conclude our short relationships discussion, Watch With Us. Thank you so much, Katie, for being here.
Yeah, thank you so much for having me. I really appreciate it.
Of course. Is there anything else you'd like to say before I log off for everybody?
No, I just really appreciate the festival putting it, how they put it on and what they've done. And I think it's amazing that what they've done. So I appreciate being included.
All right. Thank you so much. We loved your film, and we're so excited for you to watch the rest of the ones in your short category, and of course the rest of our program. And to everyone at home watching, thank you so much for being here. We hope that you'll watch the rest of our films as well, in all the categories, and make sure you vote for those audience awards too, because we have a few of those up as well. And be sure to check out our website, our social medias. We're on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram to keep updated on everything else that we have coming up. We have a few more of these Watch With Us series if you'd like to join us. They'll also be uploaded to YouTube in case you missed it. Alrighty, that's it for me. Sean, do you want to say anything else?
Nope, just watch some films. They're going on to the 18th.
Yeah, watch films made by women, celebrate women.
Yes.
Yeah, exactly. Alrighty. Thank you all so much and have a beautiful night.
Thank you.
Thank you, Katie.